If we think back and think Meghan Markle, we will always find really, really shady acquaintances. I am going to tell you now my story of what I believe or who I believe is responsible for the Meghan Markle debacle in the royal family. And you will be shocked to find who this person is and why this person's still in the royal family. Yes, she's still in the royal family. Not Meghan Markle, but a different one. I have done videos before about this topic, and they always get taken down by YouTube. So hopefully I'll do a very light version of everything without getting too gory about it. But today I am going to expose the untold story of Rachel Meghan Markle.
10 years ago, I had a drink with Meghan Markle, which changed the face of the British monarchy. I arrived, it was a freezing winter evening. There was only one reason why Meghan wanted to meet me, and that's because she wanted column inches. She had asked various other showbiz journalists who had declined her offer. I was the only one that went to meet her. She wanted to be famous in the UK, and she was very underwhelming, very quiet actually. And we started talking about our love lives, and she told me that she had just got divorced, or she was in the process of getting divorced, and how hard it had been and how hard she was finding it to find another man. And then she brought up Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole, of course, is a former Chelsea and England football player. I'd written about Ashley Cole and his divorce and his alleged affairs while he was married to Cheryl Cole. So I shared this information with her. Her face dropped. So many people say to me, oh, why didn't you just let her go out with Ashley Cole? If you just let her go out with Ashley Cole, then Prince Harry would not have met her, Prince Harry would not have married her, and Prince Harry might still be, you know.
We start with this because we have to start with this. This is the case that Virginia Giuffre or Virginia Roberts had against Prince Andrew. Remember that case? She's the reason why Prince Andrew is no longer a working member of the royal family. Virginia Giuffre's lawyer suggests calling Meghan Markle to testify in Prince Andrew's case. Why, you wonder, would Meghan Markle be called by Virginia Roberts to testify in a case that had nothing to do with Rachel Meghan Markle? Because as far as people know, there's nothing going on with that, right? So it says here, Meghan Markle may be called to depose over legal action against Prince Andrew, said the lawyer of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who has accused the prince of sexually assaulting her when she was 17. Okay? Ms. Markle could have some important knowledge. David Bois, the attorney representing Ms. Giuffre, told the Daily Beast on Tuesday. Mr. Bois said he might seek to depose Ms. Markle as part of the civil suit slapped against the prince by Ms. Giuffre, and said he believed Ms. Markle could be expected to tell the truth. That's fat chance. Meghan Markle is a born liar, but hey, she is somebody we can count on to tell the truth, Mr. Bois said. He also believed that she might have picked up some important knowledge about the royals' behavior. He's referring to Andrew, Prince Andrew. He said Ms. Markle was a close companion to Prince Andrew and therefore probably saw what he did. He also cited 3 reasons for Ms. Markle to be a potential deposition subject. 1, she is in the U.S., so we have jurisdiction over her. 2, she is somebody who obviously, at least for a period of time, was a close associate of Prince Andrew. She was a close associate of Prince Andrew, and hence is in a position to perhaps have seen what he did. And perhaps, if not to have seen what he did, to have heard people talk about it. Because of her past association with him, she may very well have important knowledge and will certainly have some knowledge. 3, she is somebody who we can count on to tell the truth. She checks all 3 boxes. And within a month, less than a month, within 2-3 weeks, Andrew decided to settle the lawsuit, which says a lot. It says tons. So let's not forget that Harry said that Meghan asked him once, "Who is that? Is that a valet standing right? Is that is that a royal staff standing right next to the Queen?" Oh, and that's how I knew she didn't know anything about me. Prince Harry said, "Because that was my Uncle Andrew." Meghan, 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 a born natural liar. But it's very interesting that Virginia Giuffre wanted to call her because of her close association to Prince Andrew. I did a video before, and I've actually spoken about it with NT Lawyer, where we talked about this, that Sarah Ferguson did not want anybody, once she got divorced to Andrew, she didn't want him getting close or form a serious relationship with anybody, because if he did, then he would marry that other woman and she would lose the grip that this woman had on Prince Andrew. Let's not forget that, guys. There are pictures, tons of pictures, I am sure, of Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. This is at Princess Eugenie's 18th birthday. And I have something to disclose to you almost at the end of this video, because unfortunately it goes like that. So I hope you stick around, because it's a bombshell. This is for you, Beatrice's 18th birthday, where Harvey Weinstein, Uncle Harvey, Jeffrey, and Auntie Ghislaine were present, were guests invited by them. And I've always wanted to know how they ended up being there. How did Jeffrey get really invited? A lot of people have blamed Ghislaine. They said, "Oh, Ghislaine is the one, because he was very close friends with the family, and blah, blah, blah." It might have been, but it is my very humble opinion that everything was because of Fergie. Everything happened because of Fergie. In fact, we know that Jeffrey lent her money to cover her debts. Everything always comes back to Fergie. Guys, Fergie is an absolute leech. Fergie is an absolute leech. And many of you are going to say, "Paula, how come there are no images or anything like that?" Because Jeffrey Epstein, we know that he was a very, very clever man, and he didn't like to show himself a lot. In fact, there are very far and few pictures taken of him for a reason. You see a lot of pictures of people. He used to take pictures of people in his yacht, but he didn't get any pictures of himself. It was always getting pictures of other people, his guests that he would invite in his yacht. He would get them in compromising situations, and once they were there, that's how he got around. This is the kind of individual this man was. That's how he got around. So many have said, if you looked at it, Sarah Ferguson has admitted to knowing him and borrowing him money. And yet, try hard as I might, I haven't been able to find a public, listen to what I'm saying, a public picture in the public domain of Jeffrey and Sarah, in spite of the fact that I am sure they have taken pictures with themselves all along. There's very few, because these people know how to cover their tracks. Make no mistake, they do know how to cover their tracks. And Fergie, in my very humble opinion, I know many of you really like her, but Fergie, to me, she is more dangerous than anybody there. She's just underrated and plays a dumb ginger card. I don't know what I'm doing. But Fergie, you better watch out for Fergie. I mean, Sarah was desperately getting around this man all along. And it is my very humble opinion that this is why Meghan Markle felt so comfortable around Sarah Ferguson. This is why, when you remember when she went on Oprah and she said, Fergie, she taught me how to curtsy. Fergie, the way she speaks about Fergie and Eugenie and Beatrice, it's because they were around for a long time together. Okay, make no mistake about that. And Fergie is a person that also was called to be a witness, along with the last person I'm going to show you later on, guys. But Fergie is, have you noticed how she always is there? She's been living in that royal lodge forever. Remember when she got caught selling access to Prince Andrew? I am not saying that Prince Andrew is a saint by no stretch of the imagination. I think he's a dirty old perv weasel. But I do believe he's just as much of an idiot as Prince Harry is. And Sarah Ferguson is that Fergie woman is as cunning and as deviant and as skanky as Rachel Meghan Markle. Okay, she just was lucky that when she was doing all her skankiness, the internet was not around. It was just videos. I mean, we know that video, and I can't show most of the things that I'm talking about. I can't show you the pictures, but please do Google, and I will leave the links at the bottom of the video for you to, because if I show them, they're copyrighted. I don't want to get into that, but I will leave you the links of articles for you to go. Please check this out. Okay, and I will leave you the link to the video of Sarah Ferguson getting caught. And the way they defended that is that it was this guy who used to do these setups. The only reason why this guy was able to do the setup is because it was very well known that Sarah Ferguson was selling access for large amounts of cash, selling access to Andrew, who was the trade ambassador. He was the trade ambassador to to the United Kingdom, and the records have been sealed for until 2065, in spite of the fact that that was a post paid with taxpayers' money. What does this picture have to do with this? We know that there were tweets running around about guys asking Meghan Markle when she was on Suits whether she was available for that weekend to go to Croatia and everything else. You're wondering who is this person in this picture and why these two individuals are there. Her name is Karina Shuliak, and that is the man himself, Jeffrey. She was his last girlfriend. Okay, now she's from Romania. This woman was recruited by Ghislaine, as usual, and the only yachts she's ever been in are with Jeffrey Epstein. Those are the only yachts that she's always ever been in, because she was recruited very young. So everywhere she went and traveled was within the company of Ghislaine and Jeffrey. I just want to stress that point very well. Dinah did an interview with one of the survivors, and she described this, and she did 6 degrees of separation between Meghan Markle and everybody around. There's absolutely zero doubt that Meghan Markle was with Jeffrey, that was with Harvey, and that these individuals moved in those circles. How do we know that? And she was also with Ron Burkle, the owner of Soho House. We have had the blind items by Auntie that says, you know, that Harvey was really happy, couldn't believe it, that the illiterate one married a prince, that she managed to marry him, given the fact that he slept with her. We know that Meghan Markle has been around these people forever. We know that Harvey and Jeffrey have been around the York girls. We know that. We know that Uncle Harvey and this girl Chapman, the girl designer from Marchesa, where Meghan Markle has also hung around with. I can't show the picture. I will leave the link, because if I show the pictures, I'll get a copyright strike, okay? So they're gotten really tightened when it comes to these things. So I will leave the links for you to go check everything down on the video description. I'm repeating, okay? So we know that Meghan was around these people. And according to Auntie, and I believe Auntie, and also because everything points out to it, and because of the survivor from Dinah and everything I've investigated, this woman was around. She was not a lead character in Suits. She was spent most of her time in London, traveling to Hong Kong, to Saudi Arabia, Europe, and she didn't earn that much money at all. She was 134 minutes out of the over 7,700 minutes the whole show was. So she didn't earn that very much. She's not getting royalties in the millions like people are trying to say. That is an absolute lie. But what I wanted to get with you is I want you to understand who Karina Shuliak is, this lady right here, okay? Because she was Jeffrey's last girlfriend, and the only times she traveled and went anywhere was with him. So imagine my shock. I've shown you this picture many, many times. Guess who's there? Karina Shuliak. There's Misha Nunu as well, by the way, guys. And guess who's on the other end with her Panama hat? Her Panama hat indicating that she was at work That was her trademark. She was known for indicating that she was at work when she was wearing her Panama hat. So I just explained to you that Karina Shuliak only, whenever she traveled on Jeffrey's yachts, planes, whatever. It was always with Jeffrey. She was his last girlfriend. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, Paula, maybe it was just that one trip. No, there were quite a few trips that Meghan Markle took with Karina. There's actually quite a lot of pictures about them. But of course, they're not made public. But there's 2 pictures that leaked. There are 2 pictures that leaked. And there's always somebody getting the photograph. Just like Prince Andrew, when he got that photograph taken with Virginia Roberts, the one that was his undoing kind of thing. Because always Jeffrey was behind the cameras. Always. So there is Karina, again, with Rachel Meghan Markle, the flamboyant new Duchess of Sussex, for now, anyways. And these are the crew and people that were going around. Of course, there's Misha Nunu. You see, Meghan Markle hangs around people that are going to keep secrets because they were all in on it. So they're going to keep those secrets. Now, I've done a live with Enti, and he assumes that maybe Meghan Markle was getting paid maybe $20,000 per episode she was in. We know that Meghan Markle wasn't in very many episodes, and she was, and he's been incredibly generous. That is not the case. She was not getting paid that much. I mean, she was less than 1.2% of the entire series. If you're in it for 134 minutes and you can afford to be 2-3 months away at a time, because apparently they would record everything with Meghan Markle in it and then just incorporate it because her role was so small. Her role only started escalating when she let it be known that she was dating Prince Harry. So the producers, because the Suits show popularity was dwindling, they thought that's going to be great PR. You know, Meghan Markle, and this is when she started getting a bigger, juicier story. So if Karina Shuliak only went out with Jeffrey, was on yachts, airplanes, cars, anything with Jeffrey, and she's on a yacht, and Meghan Markle is on a yacht, what does that say to you? On top of that, we've had the tweets. And worst of all is why is Virginia Roberts asking for Meghan Markle as a witness? Because she would have important knowledge because she was a close associate of Prince Andrew. I know that she pretended she didn't know who he was, but she did know who he was. Worst of all, because she was a minor celebrity in the yachting world, because she'd been a Deal or No Deal girl, and she was calling herself a model, and she was starring in a show Suits. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits. It was on her yachting trips, because that's where the money was. Poor Trevor, poor Corey Vitiello. I mean, never mind the one world. And all of this, you're asking me, we're going to circle it back to Sarah Ferguson, because Meghan Markle was introduced through Marcus Anderson to Sarah Ferguson. Sarah Ferguson, I don't put it past her to have introduced her in order to get her away from Prince Andrew, because she must have seen Meghan Markle as a threat. Even though, you know, Meghan Markle wasn't Prince Andrew's type, but she saw Meghan Markle as a threat. Anti-lawyer said that it was the reason why Sarah Ferguson never moved out of Royal Lodge and never allowed for Andrew to, you know, get married again, maybe to somebody who was less skanky like she was, is because then she wouldn't be the only Duchess of York, and she wouldn't have the influence she had over Andrew. It is my firm belief that the reason why she's still at the Royal Lodge and she's still there with the royal family is because she has tainted the royal family by introducing all these people and tainting their images. That, you know, I do believe that she is extorting the royal family, just like Meghan Markle is, with all the secrets of the children. Once they become their accomplices and once they feel they've been tainted, they have no choice but to write it out in their minds instead of doing the right thing and just kicking her to the curb. Because as NT said, and many other people have said, they try to stop her because she threatened to write a book. And it wasn't about herself and royal life. It was about the people that she had infiltrated into the royal family. And she had managed to get these people to interact with. We know that Jeffrey was at the Queen's Cottage in Sandringham. We know that Prince Charles has been to Jeffrey's Island. We know that Prince Charles, the then Prince Charles, invited Jeffrey and Harvey to Prince William's 21st birthday. Yes, people, he did invite him. I don't know if he attended because nobody sees the pictures of that. They're very, very tightly controlled. We saw Kevin Spacey sitting at the Queen's throne with Ghislaine because that picture was leaked. And we know that Bill Clinton was there, which is really interesting because now Harry's going to give a speech on in the Bill Clinton Foundation about, of all things, the environment, the hypocrisy of it all. But my understanding is that Marcus Anderson was incredibly tight with Sarah Ferguson. Sarah Ferguson is incredibly tight with Meghan Markle, and two skanks can recognize each other. Evil can spot evil. They both know that they are below average, that they have nothing remarkable to offer. And I know many of you have tried to defend Fergie. Fergie has never been loyal to the Queen. She has always exploited the Queen. And people say, oh, well, she got herself out of debt. The debt that she got herself into because she refused to live within her means or find herself a decent job. She has been exploiting the royal family's titles. And oddly enough, now she's seeing a resurgence. She's everywhere with the royal family. And her and Meghan Markle are both of the same caliber. It is my belief that Meghan Markle, and I'm showing you my face, guys, you know I always do. Meghan Markle was introduced by Sarah Ferguson to Prince Harry, Eugenie, and Beatrice. Because Meghan Markle has met Prince Andrew since 2012 and 2013 when Eugenie moved to New York in 2013, and Meghan Markle went in September 2013, and Prince Andrew took a whole month to go there and help her move. And Meghan Markle was in New York, going to Soho House, to the there was a royal ballet that was played there. She went to the St. Yokovich, something like that. They were always together around the same, but you never see pictures of them because they're very, very careful of getting pictures taken when they're doing nasty stuff. You know that when they raided Jeffrey's home, they found pictures. I mean, tons of pictures of people, but there were hardly any with Jeffrey. These people know how to operate. And Meghan Markle, I have no doubt, has gotten so many videos and pictures on Harry. And she's holding the royal family hostage, just like Sarah is, just like Fergie is, holding the royal family hostage because she tainted the royal family. She introduced these people to the royal family. Once they get involved, they're so paranoid of the scandal that they much rather give in rather than to expose. There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that Rachel Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl, and she knows it. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that she had a child. Remember when that lady at the golf course said that Meghan Markle was very well loved by all the golf players, and you know she was like a caddy, and that she was everything that she shouldn't be. Married, divorced, ethnic, and she already had a child. She let it slip, and it was very like a matter of fact thing. It wasn't anything done with malice. And this is the woman, these two women, Sarah Ferguson and Rachel Meghan Markle, are holding the entire royal family hostage because of the things they were allowed to get away with. Because they have made these people accomplices to their absolute skanky criminal behavior. It is absolutely appalling that people are still defending these two women who I place in the same category. Why is Sarah, a grown woman, still living with her former husband in the Royal Lodge, not paying any rent? Not paying any rent, no bills. This woman doesn't know. The only bills she had to pay were the ones that she dug herself into. God knows how many £500,000, how many £500,000 deals she stroked about cash for access before she was busted. We know that Jeffrey lent her money. And she's just like Meghan Markle. She's just like Meghan Markle. They're both the same. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Fergie also lied when she says, I didn't know Meghan. I met her at the wedding. Yeah. Another born liar. Two grifters. I think it's time for the royal family to bring back, like they should have like a mandatory waiting period before when they get engaged, or when they date. They should have like a 3 to 5 year waiting period, because had that been in a law, Meghan Markle wouldn't have happened to the royal family, and she would have been out because she knew that time was against her. But what do you guys think? Please leave me your comments. But I have just told you that Karina Shuliak was only on the yacht whenever Jeffrey was on the yacht. Let me know what you think, beautiful people.